Yeah, the cancer, it's interesting because it's like, I think I spent all my Vida Loca money, aside from buying my house, was just doing all this alternative, because I went alternative with the treatment. I stepped out of the allopathic scene and said, let's figure this out. And in that, the discovery of why, and I didn't have, I mean, we all have cancer genes, but I didn't have any that seemed like were something that I was to expect in the future. I didn't have relatives that were falling ill because of cancer. So I think along the way, I probably the lack of respect on the lifestyle thing, I think, and I don't know, it's hard to say, but I feel deep in my heart that I may have pushed myself, and I left home when I was 12, and there are certain things that happened along the way, and I lived a certain lifestyle. It's like with Menudo, I spent all my money on, partying and the usual classic, almost cliche stories. I was definitely on that, living that. And I think I just didn't take care of myself. And it's no secret. I mean, I went to rehab in my 20s. I had this thing, in my life, and that was just too long to talk about. That's good, but I think that I just didn't take care of myself. I didn't have the respect. I always thought I was going to die when I was 27. By the time I'm 27, I had a romance that came, at least with my experience with music, that I probably took a little too serious at some point. So there's a lot of reasons, I think, but it's mostly that a lifestyle thing, I think. So a lot has changed. I find myself celebrating life all the time, but I notice things like, and I've shared this story every once in a while, I'm from Puerto Rico. We've done a little surfing when we were growing up. We've been in the water, but I've never been able to float. And so it's only been maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago, I was at the beach with my wife and my kids, and I was floating for the first time. I couldn't believe it, and I say to my little one, his name is Redamo, it's like I'm floating, and he couldn't believe it. He calls his mom, and it was just such a great moment because I was really floating. I wasn't like, oh, I'm floating for a minute here. I was like, there's a big change in my life. Something is gone, some heavy, something heavy, something dark, some weight that I was carrying that was keeping me, I think, ill and everything. I don't know what to call it, but since then I've been finding myself smiling, even on the airplane. Even when I go to sleep, I find myself smiling in bed because I get it. I get something that I didn't get before. I mean, obviously I don't have all the answers, but there's a part of me that has pushed me forward, and I'm just so happy to at times do absolutely nothing, whether it's to sit down and watch a great show or meet up with a group of friends and have a beer. I mean, it's just, everything has changed.